I'm Amanda Latscha. I oftentimes get asked what got you into real estate. And it was actually my summer job when I was in high school. My aunt had her own window cleaning business. We cleaned residential and commercial accounts. I enjoyed seeing the architectural styles, the different layouts, the different rooms. I loved to see just how other people lived. But I didn't start out in real estate. I actually never really knew what I wanted to do. I grew up in Oregon, Ohio, kind of just running around the neighborhood. I played sports, but didn't have any one particular interest that grabbed me and was like, that's gonna be my career. I went to Notre Dame Academy, very begrudgingly. It really was a great place for me. I started at the University of Toledo in pharmacy, but before classes even started, I was like, gosh, organic chemistry really does not sound like a great class. I don't think I'm gonna take that. It was actually my honors reading class that first year that directed me toward teaching. I loved to read, I loved to write, I loved the discussions we had in that class, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to do something with reading and writing. And so someone was like, well, you should teach. You're a great teacher. And I'm like, all right. So I transferred to Miami of Ohio, got my bachelor's in English. I was also an RA for 2 years there. You get these panicky calls from residents. This is going on, that's happening. So lots of emotions, lots of different scenarios that I had to deal with prepared me well for teaching and surprisingly for real estate. I graduated in December, so I started looking for teaching jobs. I got my job and I ended up staying there for 8 years, teaching high school English, coaching volleyball. I got my master's degree. But when we started to have kids, I was like, well, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to be teaching. I want to be able to be home with them. And that didn't last long either. I love my kids, but I also need something to keep me busy. And at first I thought real estate would just be a hobby for me. I liked looking at houses. This is something I can do. I can just help friends and family, but I can be home with my kids. And I realized very quickly that real estate is not a hobby. It is a full-time job. You have to be in it. You have to be doing it. You have to know what's going on to really be of great service to your clients. And so here I am, 7 years later, over 200 houses in. I am a Homes for Heroes specialist. I've helped over 100 heroes get into homes and give them rewards after closing. I've given back almost $150,000 to those clients. And I can't think of a better way to give back to the people I'm so intimately involved with. Teachers, I know exactly what you're going through. I'm married to a firefighter. I know what their lives are like. Police officers, nurses, our military members. Sometimes so much underappreciated that even that small thing I can do for them when buying and selling is a great place for me to be. So I mentioned I'm married to a firefighter. My husband, Mike, and I have been married for 11 years. We've known each other since I was 16. We met in high school, but didn't date until after graduated college. We had 2 beautiful daughters who keep us on our toes. Traveling is a huge part of our life. It's something that we really enjoy doing. I was blessed as a kid that my parents took us to all kinds of places. Like we did whitewater rafting in Oregon, and we also went to Virginia and Florida. So I've been to a lot of places, and that continued in high school. I was fortunate enough to go with my class to France. I got to see several parts of the country. And then when I was in college, I went to study for 6 weeks in Italy. I got to be in Italy, I got to be in Germany, I got to be in Switzerland. And then a friend of mine, the year after that, she's like, do you want to do some missionary work? And we went to the Cook Islands, which is off the coast of New Zealand. And when it came time to pick our honeymoon, I absolutely wanted to go back to Europe. We spent 16 days in Spain and Portugal. I have a goal to visit all 50 states. And we got pretty nerdy, my husband and I. We visited the capital when we were in Indianapolis, and then we visited another capital when we went to North Carolina. And while we were at the Capitol building, there was this book about these capitals. I was like, oh, this is a cool book. It's all the 50 capitals. Lady at the gift shop is like, oh, do you know like all Capitol buildings have a stamp? And so they stamp your book, and we have the date and time of these Capitol buildings that we've visited. We've added to our 50 state goal, not only capitals, but the Capitol buildings, being the giant nerds that we are. When I'm not working, when I'm not traveling, we're just spending time together as a family. When we're home, we like to just watch football. I'm a huge Packers fan. Also, we like to do puzzles. I do jigsaw puzzles. I do 3D puzzles. I like logic puzzles. And of course, I love reading. It has always been my dream to have a library in my house. It started when I was in my first apartment. There was a walk-in closet in my loft area, and I had 10 Sodders outlet bookcases that I threw in there, squeezed in there. I accumulated a lot more books. And so it grew. Our first house, we added even more bookcases to wrap around our back room. When we bought our second house, one of the rooms in the house had to be able to become the library. We have the perfect room for the house. And just this year, I am so excited to say that we finally got our built-in bookcases. It's a dream that I've had and a dream that has finally come true 15 years later. And even though sometimes our dreams take longer to realize than we want them to, it's one of the great things I actually love about my job. I love helping people realize their dreams of home ownership or moving on to the next house. And it's so rewarding to see them accomplish their dreams as well.